Okay, a few days ago I made a video from Game1 of this multiple choice chess 2 and I realized that I was around move 17 and nearly half an hour was gone. And since I don't think someone is really going to watch a video of 1 hour, I prefer to divide the game in two. Okay, so this is game number 1 of multiple choice chess volume 2. It was Taimanov versus Petrosian. I will go quickly up to move 17 so you can remember what you played more or less. You can try to find the piece of paper where you wrote the points. So d4 e6, c4 d5, knight c3, bishop e7, knight f3, knight f6, bishop g5, castle, e3, b6, c takes d5, e takes d5, bishop d3. So if you didn't see part 1 of this video series, please watch part 1, okay? Because in this way you will learn and how many points you've made, no? That's the important thing. Queen c2, h6, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, and h4, c5, castle, long side, knight c6, and then we continue with move 13, g4, c takes d4, e takes d4, queen d6, and king b1, knight b4, obviously forking, queen d2, knight takes d3, and I think we were here at queen takes d3 and g6, okay? So after this move you are white. I hope you remember how many points you did up to now. Otherwise watch the game 1, part 1. Here he asks you the following things. There are 4 possible moves. Which one do you choose? g5 is the choice number 1. h5, choice number 2. Queen e3, choice number 3, and a3. So which of these 4 moves are you going to play? Okay, here it says 18 g5 seeks to open the files on the king side, right? And is worth 3 points. 3 points, okay? h5 with similar intention scores 1 point, 1 point, but allows black to blockade with g5, so not so good like g5. And then we have, you get 0 for queen e3 or e3. You get also a good 0 points. So g5 was the move played in the game, and if you found it, it was 3 points. Black continues with bishop c8, and this is a great move, obviously, bishop c8, because you immediately notice that the king is on the same diagonal of the queen, and so he will do this, right? So he asks you of this, which move are you going to play now? You are white, okay? So you are white and you have the following choices. Do you play G takes F6, or do you play G takes H6, or do you play H5, or do you play King A1? So which of these four possibilities are you going to play? First of all, let's start with G takes F6. If you played this move, you're going -5. You must take 5 points off from your score. If you, because obviously once you play this, like I said, there is this, you lost the queen. I don't know, it doesn't make much sense. So let's see the next one. The next one is the following. If you played G takes H6, again there is bishop F5. In this case you lose 7 points. Instead of 5 you go -7. Let's see what else. And H5, if you play this, you're still -6, it says. Yeah. And so obviously if at this point you played King A1, which is the right move, you get 1 point. Okay, so 1 point for King A1. Obviously black continues with bishop F5 because it's a good repositioning, right? Okay, how do you continue here? Once more, you have 4 choices. You have Queen E3 or Queen D2, Knight B5 attacking with Queen D6, or Knight E5. Okay, so let's see what was the move score. If you choose Queen D2, you score 2 points. Okay. Now the move Knight B5, that seems so good because it attacks here, it seems it fails. So you must take 2 points from this move. Why it fails? Because after bishop takes d3, knight takes d6, bishop e2 forking the 2, g takes f6, bishop takes f3, and obviously you should take again away 2 points because clearly black is winning here, and that's kind of interesting, right? It was a very nice thing that happened here, because you need to calculate sometimes you really need to calculate what could happen when, and that's really good because this is what this game is teaching you. So we said if you play knight d2, 2 points, knight b5, you must remove 2 points from your score. There are no points for queen e3, okay, and of course if you played this move, knight e5, you are -7 points. You must remove 7 points. Okay, with that said, let's continue here. How did white played? White played queen d2, to which Black replied bishop g4. Once more, you have 4 alternatives. What are the 4 alternatives? One is queen d3, which doesn't make sense, right? Because you just went back. So why would you play queen d3? I don't know. Sorry for biasing you, but some of the moves don't make sense. Queen e3 is another alternative. This makes a little more sense, but again. Then there is g takes f6. Okay, this makes sense, but the problem is that when you get fork on the rooks, so I don't know. And then there is knight b5. So which of these alternatives? Queen d3, queen e3 takes, or knight b5? What do you like to play? What would you play? Okay. Now, he says, if you play this, he doesn't know how you avoid the repetition. But if you play this move, you can get 1 point. Okay, so it's good. It's really magnanimous. 1 point. Then let's see. This is not right because of rook f e8. So it means 0 point. Now we have g takes f6. It seems he gets 1 point, and he gives a line to show you why. Okay. And then there is what? There is the real move, that is knight b5. Knight b5 gives you 2 points, and knight b5 was what was played in the game. Okay, so if you fought to play this move, knight b5, you can add 2 points to your score. Now, black continue with queen e6, but if you calculated knight d8, queen f4, attacking this and attacking this, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, h takes g5, h takes g5, and bishop takes g5, and now you saw queen h3. At this point you have gained 2 points, okay? So that's kind of interesting. However, in the game it wasn't played queen d8, but it was played queen e6, okay? At this point you have 4 choices for after queen e6. One choice is rook d e1, the other choice is rook h e1, and then you have queen e3 or g takes f6. So the 2 rooks on the square e to attack, or queen e3 or g takes f6. Which one of these 4 choices are you going to play? Eventually, remember, I don't tell you, but you need to pause the video and think. So it seems if you fought to play rook h e1, minus 1 point, because black will play queen f5, and this gives white some big problem. If you play rook d e1, it's probably a little better, and it gains 2 points. And if you played queen e3, it's a mistake, because at this point, one, you don't want to you don't want to exchange the queens, so you lose 2 points if you choose this move. And he shows it also because after queen takes e3, f takes e3, obviously there is bishop takes f3, that is attacking the rooks, right? So, okay. So, queen e3 minus 2 points. G takes f6, queen takes f6, sorry, g takes f6 is bishop takes f3, very good, yeah. And after queen takes h6, it loses because of queen takes h6. So if you thought that the move was g takes f6, you must detract 3 points from your score. I'm sorry, g takes f6 wasn't the right one. With that said, what was the right one? Rook d e1, that's what they played, right, in the game. After which black continue with queen f5, okay, and here you have again 4 choices: g takes f6, g takes h6, h5, or knight e5. So after you have queen f5, you have these 4 choices. Which one would you play? Here it says that the variation g takes f6 is good enough to get 1 point. G takes f6 is 1 point, and it gives a line, okay? I'm going a little faster because we are already at 16 minutes video, and I don't know, we are very, very far from the end. So I find it ridiculous that we will have to maybe make a part 3. Ridiculous. G takes h6, bishop takes f3, and so this costs you 2 points. You have to do -2 if you played this, okay? Now there are still 2 moves, right? If I correct it, yeah, because g takes f6, g takes h6, and then h5. H5 is also not good because of bishop takes f3, so -2 points also for that. Now the real move was knight e5, that it gives you 3 points. So if you thought to play knight e5, you add 3 points to your score, okay? And black continues with bishop takes e5. After bishop takes e5, of course, you have more alternatives. One is rook takes e5, d takes e5, g takes h6, or f3. What do you want to play? Now, if you played rook takes e5, this is going to give you 2 points. Okay, so put 2 points. And here it says, enjoying the club players often prefer to make moves which attack the enemy queen. But here Taimanov says that d takes e5 to be stronger, and one has to agree that the d4 square and the d6 square appear extremely inviting for the white knight. So if you thought to play d takes e5, you add 4 points to your score. Why? Because knight d4 or knight d6 are very good, so that d takes e5 created 2 outposts. Okay, now if you thought to play g takes h6, it loses because of bishop f4, and so 4 points, take away 4 points. So if you play g takes h6, -4 points. Now let's see what is the next thing. f3. f3 was the other possible move. If you thought to play this, -2. You have lost 2 points, so this is it. Let's move on. It continues with d takes e5 and h5. Now I will stop the video because we are already at 20 minutes, and I'm sorry, there will be a part 3. We will continue from here, okay? Thank you very much.